and welcome to day 2 of the October Virtual India Sourcing Show, brought to you by AVASK, which is one of the major accounting firms in Europe, and they are your partners if you want to sell in any country in Europe. I'm Megla in Singapore, and I'm joined by Margaret and Kevin. Hi guys, how's it going?
Hello, we meet again. Very brief sleep and we're back.
You guys look different.
Yeah, we're back to Aussie today.
Yeah. We had a wardrobe malfunction.
Mark, how long did it take you to wear that sari?
Oh, quite a while. A few YouTube things in the afternoon. I thought I had it, and then I started 2 hours before in case, and then I just reserted, I had safety pins, and I just unpinned it all this morning because I sort of stepped out of it last night and unpinned it all now. So I need to get help next time.
But good job, really good job. Yeah, I mean, draping a sari is not easy.
It's quite a feat, isn't it? Yeah.
It is, yeah.
I found it very uncomfortable. I mean, it must be hot in India, because obviously it's so warm, and there was this huge amount, I don't know how many meters of material I had tucked in the front of me, and I'm thinking, my God, how do they wear this every day? It's,
Yeah, they usually wear cotton ones. Cotton ones are, they're breathable
Yeah, I know. Well, mine was all sort of uppity.
It's a thicker type of material, wasn't it?
Very thick, yeah. No,
it was silky.
It was fun. I enjoyed it. So, I'm ready for the next time when we get to India. I've got my Bollywood gear this time.
It's too thick and heavy for me. It's too thick and heavy for me to wear anyway.
The pink is for you anyway, Kev.
No, it's right. It's not my colour, is it? No.
Awesome. Okay, so we've got a great show lined up for everyone today. So first of all, we have JJ Overseas coming back. Himanshu is waiting backstage. And then we have a new supplier that manufactures furniture products in not only big furniture items, but also smaller items and kitchen items and a variety of different unique products. And then we have a very interesting segment with a few suppliers to talk about what mistakes buyers make from their perspective. So this is going to be very interesting. We learn from them how they view us when we reach out to them and when we negotiate and when we ask them for prices. What is it that they feel and what they think about us, right? That's going to be very interesting.
The shoe's on the other foot, but it'd be good to sort of counterbalance what you perceive, what they've got in their mind about you. So it's going to be quite good, quite interesting.
Yeah. And then finally, we have Mr. Rajesh Rawat from EPCH joining us. So he's going to be talking about the upcoming virtual Delhi fair that starts November 4th. And he's also going to be talking about the next physical Delhi fair in India next year. Also, I want to remind everyone, AVASK is offering a free ebook to all of us. So if you haven't downloaded it already, please go ahead and do that. This is a very good ebook to give you an overview of what's happening with Brexit and how it impacts e-commerce and Amazon sellers. So a very valuable resource to just have handy if you're selling in Europe, or even if you're not selling in Europe and you're planning to do so in the future. It's a handy guide to have. So look for the link in this post description, whether you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn. There should be a link somewhere, either in the comments or in the post description. Click on that link, go ahead and download that ebook and keep it with you. Also, in case anyone's interested to use AVASK services, they are offering a 50% discount on VAT registration in certain countries, and you're automatically eligible if you download that ebook. So definitely go ahead and download the ebook. If you haven't watched our show with AVASK yesterday, go ahead and do that as well. They talked about Brexit and the importance of the VAT changes and what's going to happen and what Amazon sellers need to be aware of. So very important issue and significant changes coming up at the end of the year.
Yeah, the guys did a wonderful presentation and explained it really well. Very professional presentation.
Yeah, and I think it made you realise how much is involved, because it's a bit of a minefield, really. I think I'd hate to be trying to negotiate it by myself.
Absolutely.
The first question of the day, they're pretty keen to do business.
Usually was we could PM him.
So Facebook user, first of all, if you could go to this URL, streamyard.com/Facebook, give StreamYard access to your profile so that we can see who you are. And secondly, what you can do is we have featured a few leather product suppliers previously. So, but you will have to reach out to them. I don't think suppliers would, reach out to you unless you're Walmart or a big company. It would be better for you to vet suppliers and reach out to them. So go to this URL where all of the previous catalogs and contact details are saved. This is a Google Drive. So just look for one PDF over here that has all of the suppliers that we've interviewed in the past. Look for their product categories. There are a few leather product suppliers, and the contact details are mentioned there as well.
I think we've actually gone to. I think we've done two really good ones so far. Leather.
Yeah, we have.
Factories, haven't we?
Yeah.
What was it? Is it a mud or something? I can't. Sometimes some of the Indian names I can't quite. I can't remember. I know it begins with U, but yeah.
You're right. Really, Uday or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Utsav. Yeah.
Utsav. That's it. That's it. Good.
Yeah. He was in Kolkata. Tatiana, right. Nice to see you. Tatiana's launched some really nice products.
Those Christmas things. Yeah, it's been nice.
Vivek, hi, good morning. How are you? Bob. Oh, that was Bob. Cool. Okay, where is Mark? We're looking for Mark. Are you there yet, Mark?
He's obviously not. What time is it over there now?
It should be 8 o'clock for him, I think.
He's probably having.
Kevin, what happened to your microphone?
It's 8 o'clock. Yeah, you're still there. Speak now. No, you're not.
Yeah, your microphone got disconnected.
Yeah.
Oh, there, it's back now. Okay, so let's get started. We are going to invite our first supplier, Himanshu from JJ Overseas. Hi, Himanshu. How are you?
Hello, Himanshu.
Ma'am, how are you all? Glad to act there. Glad to that.
Hello, Himanshu. Good to see you again, mate.
And welcome back, Himanshu. For those who missed it, Himanshu was one of our very, very first suppliers to come onto our first show. And he's got a lot of new great products to show us. So I think straight into it, do you want to head off and tell us a little bit about your business and get started, and then we'll go and look at all your new products?
Yeah. So yeah, shall I begin?
Yeah, go for it. Yep.
So yeah. First of all, this is Himanshu Jain, who handles the sales and merchandising of the JJ Overseas. JJ Overseas is a company based out of Panipat, Haryana, India. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, you're audible. And Himanshu, just let me know when you want me to go to the next slide.
Sure, I will let you. So yeah, JJ Overseas is specialized into the soft home furnishings and the floor coverings category. We are in this line from the around 30 years since 1990. So we have a lot of experience in designs and professionalism with ourselves. Ma'am, please forward it. So our main vertical, one of the main vertical is rugs and carpets, which is we subdivided into various vertical like hand woven daris, hand tufted carpets, braided rugs, printed daris, and the very main blend of the material are jute and hemp in the upcycled materials, PET, PP, silk, cotton, viscose, knitted, and chenille. When we say about rugs and carpets, it's all about the different type of blend of colors, designs, and the patterns and technique.
Himanshu, that one in the photo, is that a PET rug or is that a normal fibre?
Sorry, pardon?
The photo you've got there now with the rug in the photo, is that a PET one or is that what material is that one?
This is recycled.
Recycled, yeah, it's beautiful. It looks lovely.
Thank you. Next, please, ma'am. Second vertical is bath mat. Bath mat again is subdivided into 3 categories. Cotton mats, these are the tufted cotton mats. And second is microfiber mats. Microfiber mats are made from the polyester, polypropylene, and PET. These are the microfiber and chenille. Third one is microfoam mats. These are spongy mats with the middle layer of foam in it. We are specialized in offering different type of backing in the bath mats, like cotton canvas, PP primary, PP fabric, rubber anti-skid, heavy rubber anti-skids. These type of fabrics are used in the backing so that bath mats can be made anti-skid with anti-skid characteristic. Next slide, ma'am. Then wall hangings. Wall hanging is like there are many types of wall hanging: macrame, hand woven, and printed. The material that is used in the wall hangings are generally cotton coats, cotton macrame coats, and then jute, chindi, and wool. This is all depends upon the type of blend the buyer wants. Next slide, ma'am. Cushions. Basically, we are specialized in the handloom cushions, but we are providing various type of cushions like handwoven, tufted, knitted macrame, and velvet cushions. Same here, the material we use is are cotton, jute, wool, chindi, coats, velvet, and linen. We'll just give you a brief about all the characters, then move on to the catalogs. Poofs, there are different type of poofs: hand woven, printed, braided, knitted. These are all the techniques that we use in making the puffs. And then the material used are cotton, jute, hemp, wool, chindi, cord, and PET. In USA, poofs are known as ottomans. Then our complementary vertical includes bags and baskets. Bags and baskets are hand woven, plain, braided, and fabric bags. Fabric bags are generally we use as well in the packing of the products that you buy from us. Type of materials: cotton, jute, chindi, wool, and fabric. These are type of the yarns that we have referred above. First image is of the cotton, recycled cotton yarn. Second is hemp. Third is knittel. Knittel, hemp, and jute. These are the categories of the jute, and knittel is the most expensive than all the categories. Then it's wool, it's microfiber, chenille, and the silk. Thank you. Shall we proceed to the catalog? Catalog number 1. So yeah, first of all, these are all the rugs and mats that can be made in any of the size. Like for the doormat, we use 60 by 90. For the bed runner, we use 60 by 120, 60 by 150 centimeters. And for the living rooms, we use it for the like 120 by 180 centimeter, 180 by 240 centimeter. So these are all the patterns that we have referred over here to show us what are the blends that we can offer you. Like if we go for JJAR001, this is the cotton dari with printed leaves over it. Second is the cut shuttle dari, panja dari. And then third, this is the simple handloom daris. So you can see various of the designs. We have used all the blends like cotton, recycled PET, jute, wool. We have tried to use each and every possible yarns in our catalog. Second slide, ma'am. Like you can see JJAR021. This is the jute and the cotton blend. You can see JJAR028. This is polyester chindi blend. And rest all are cotton. Yeah. This is recycled polyester chindi. These are printed ones. So these are the catalogs which you can pick up and choose the SKUs to for the further specifications from us. These are the cut shuttle and round braided rugs. JJAR031 is the denim rug, recycled denim, which is formed into the handloom dari. On the right side corner, we have used the leather. Yeah, these are jute rugs and chindi rugs. JJAR034 is the handloom rug and JJAR035 is the braided rug. There are various things to explore in. These are the hand tufted rugs now. Hand tufted rugs are, these are basically more designer rugs in our category. So these are the type of rugs that we have. These are the type of rugs that we have. These are the type of rugs that we have. These are the type of rugs that we have. These are the type of rugs that we have. These are the type of rugs that we have. These are the type of rugs that we have. These are the type of rugs that we have. These are the type of rugs that we have. These are the type of rugs that we have. These are the type of rugs that we have. These are the type of rugs that we have. These are the type of rugs that we have. These are the type of rugs that we have. These are the type of rugs that we have. These are the type of rugs that we have. These are the type of rugs that we have. These are the type of rugs that we have. These are the type of rugs that we have. These are the type of rugs that we have. These are the type of rugs that we have. These are the type of rugs that we have. These are the type of rugs that we have. These are the type of rugs that we have. These are the type of rugs that we have. These are the type of rugs that we have You can see each and every design.
So what material are these made from?
Use the cotton, wool, and silk. Like if you see 1901, then it is wool. Mostly material.
And is the pattern are these yarn dyed, or how is the
Yeah, these are
pattern?
the yarn dyed yarn.
Great designs.
There's lots of really
Yeah,
nice.
some nice designs.
These are all hand tufted. We are planning to launch the children, especially kids, catalog for the hand tufted rugs now.
And typically, what's the size of these, Himanshu? Because one concern selling on Amazon is that these are very large. So,
Yeah,
what is the typical
as I said,
size?
that size can be customized. If you want this in the size of 60 by 90 for the doormat, then it is possible.
Oh.
Yeah, so the size can be customized.
And how do you generally pack them, Himanshu? Is it rolled or is it folded, or how are they packed?
These are rolled and then packed in the poly bag and then with the white PP sheet. That means they are rolled and double packed with the first layer of the poly bag and second layer of the PP sheet.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
Jackie's saying hello, everyone, and she's saying hello, Himanshu. I'm dealing with you right now and have been for a while now. That's great. So it looks like Jackie's placing some
Awesome.
orders with you.
Good stuff.
Good.
Yeah, we are in talks with her.
Okay.
Gee, that's
So which
We wanna-
markets
we
do
wa-
these?
Yeah.
Yeah, which markets or which countries do these mostly sell in? Is it US or UK, France, Germany? Which specific country?
Our 90% business is USA, and the rest in the Australia, New Zealand, and 90% is US.
yeah, no,
Well,
that's
something
really
like
nice.
this, we could also sell to a retail store, right, Mark Kevin? I mean, not
Yeah,
only
yeah,
definitely,
e-commerce.
definitely, yeah,
Yeah,
for
it'd
sure.
be great for retail as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, because I mean, some of those are just they're so different. They're different to what
Yeah.
we see here.
The,
Really
the designs, it's fantastic, aren't they? You know, it's
Yeah.
sort
Yeah,
of different.
really nice.
Yeah.
And the other day we had Steven Selikoff on a webinar Wednesday, and he focuses a lot on talking to retailers and, not only selling on Amazon or e-commerce, but diversifying, other brick and mortar channels. So
That's
these
correct,
kinds of
yeah.
products would be really good for, that.
Yeah.
So, okay, we've got a question here for you, Himanshu. You said that nettle was the most expensive. Is that just a processing cost, or is it a better quality yarn?
There are two reasons. First is the better quality, top quality Jutian is nettle. Second, they are found in the Himalayan regions only. The production is very less and seasonal of nettle yarn.
Okay.
Like they are found in the Nepal region and the mountainous region mainly. These are the most designer 1916 and 1917.
Yeah, I like this
Wow.
one where the patterns are actually, like
Yeah,
extending
yeah,
outside
yeah.
the borders. That's very
Yeah.
They're
unique.
quite cute.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very. Yeah.
they're really lovely. Those.
Yeah.
So these are all anti-slip, or
Yeah, anti-slip.
yeah.
Everything.
Okay.
The backing is always the canvas anti-slip.
Okay. Yeah, these are really good.
Oh, I just stayed up for you. What have I missed?
These are the cotton tufted bath mats in the reversible and the non-reversible pattern. In these categories, we offer various type of backings, like I mentioned before: PP fabric, anti-skid, rubber, heavy rubber backings. These are the types. These are the BM020 to JJBM026. These are the specific and special type of cotton bath mats, which we call medallion cotton bath mats.
So medallion.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Himanshu, the round ones, what are they like? Are they 60 inches or how many centimeters? How round? Like, what's the width of those round ones?
for round it is 70 by 70 centimeters.
70 by 70 centimeters. Okay.
Right. Yeah, these are really beautiful.
Mm,
And are
yeah,
they
I like
water absorbent as well, Himanshu? Bath
Yeah.
mats?
Super soft cotton is water absorbent.
Okay. This is a nice one here. BM032.
Yeah, no, this.
These are the memory foam mats. The upper layer is fabric, the middle layer is foam, and the downward layer is rubber backing or heavy rubber backing. These bath mats consist of 3 layers.
Okay. Stayed up for you. What have I missed? Sorry, Facebook user. Who are you? Please tell us your name. Or you can go to this URL and give StreamYard access to your Facebook profile so that we can see who you are. But yeah, you haven't missed much. We just got started. So Himanshu is showing his rugs. Okay, so should we go to the next one?
Yeah.
Catalog 2.
So these are the posts. Mainly, you will see in this page, all the posts are made by the knitted technique. Starting ones are the knitted posts, and then JJP0008 and 0012 are the stools, knitted stools. They are the knitted stools. They comes in the different patterns, different styles, different colors, and they are the hot running of the Amazon.com. We are working with the large e-commerce seller of the Amazon.com, and they are doing this with us.
Oh, that's good.
Wow. What's the size of these? Yeah.
The size varies like 40 by 40 by 40 centimeters or 40 by 40 by 35 centimeters.
Okay. I've got to go to inches. Let me say 40 centimeters.
Yeah. Oh, that's Gail. Hi, Gail. Why can't we see your name today? Thank you. Thank you for joining us again. Okay, what are the prices for these designer ones? So, which ones? Or just tell us the price range, Himanshu.
The price range totally varies, ma'am, with the quality, with the yarn, with the size. Everything matters to cure the prices.
Right. What is it?
Yeah,
What's the range?
you can say that $2 per square feet. It starts from that.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then high end, high end, high end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, which one of these would be considered high end or more expensive?
JJP0023 will be the most
Okay.
expensive one.
Oh, yeah.
0023
This
and
one.
0024. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. These two.
Oh, yeah. Look at the work in that one.
Hmm.
Yeah, so they'd just be small oversized. How much do they weigh, Himanshu? Roughly.
They weigh from 2 to 3 kgs.
Okay, so about 5
Their weight
pounds.
depends upon the filler that we use.
Yeah,
if we
so they'd
use
be
light-
small oversized. Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the complaints that I've seen on on Amazon, in the reviews is that sometimes they deform after consistent use. So that's why it's very important to have a good quality filler that doesn't sag.
For a long term, the filler should be very high quality.
Yeah. So let's say this JJP0023, what would be the approximate price for that?
For the size 40 by 40 by 40, if I consider that, then it would be around 17 to 18 USD.
Okay.
About $17, yeah.
And so the fillers, you don't buy the fillers with those. I mean, you buy the fillers after.
Yeah, there are many cases where buyers don't buy the fillers; they only buy the puff cover.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
These are also the cases. Yeah, they buy without
Right.
filler.
Yeah, that'd
And
be
then
the
do they-
most economic way, wouldn't it? Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. And do they fill it there then, or do they sell it? Yeah, they have to fill it in the US, right, before selling it.
Either they fill in the US or they just sell cover only.
All right.
Yeah, they also sell cover
Oh.
only because the buyer itself fills the filler. That is available over Amazon separately.
Oh, yeah.
Filler, just to buy the cover only would be a go, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then I don't know. I would find it annoying if I had to then go and find the filler. Do you know what I mean? Like you would have to sort of make sure it was the right amount. I don't know. I think I'd prefer to buy it already done.
Well, it's no different than a bean bag. You know, in the old days, going to get beans in the bean bag.
Yeah, but I think this needs to be more firm. It needs to be a more firm sort of packed fill.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep moving.
JJ00, you can see 0026 and 0028. These are the braided jute. Braided. Rest are handmade. JJP0027, you can see. This is also the very expensive one.
And that is because?
Because of the hand woven construction. This construction is expensive.
Okay.
There's so many designs. It's amazing.
Yeah, and if we wanted to customize the design, what is the MOQ for that?
Generally, we keep the 100 to 200 as the MOQ.
Even for customized designs?
Yeah. The thing is only we offer, if you are taking 100 to 200 per SKU, then we just ask the buyer to increase the number of SKUs.
Okay. Well, Gail is saying, love these poofs. So, Gail, I see that you're now on YouTube.
Cool. She's everywhere.
I like that coloured grey one in the corner, 37. I think that's really, really different.
Yeah, this one here. Okay.
These are the handloom pushing.
Right.
You can find every material that is used in our catalog, like cotton and wool. These are the materials.
Some of those are really a lot of work in those. I mean that number 31, that's just beautiful. The amount of work in it. It's gorgeous.
Okay, let's go to the third one. So there.
These are bags. The bags are generally used in the two forms. First, they are used to sell the bags only. Second, we manufacture the fabric bag for the buyers, in which we place their other items, and we use it as a packaging. If you go the down slide, these are the baskets.
Yeah, these are quite popular on Amazon. Yeah. I've seen
like
selling.
a good storage sort of basket.
JJNP002 is one of most selling basket in the Amazon.com.
Yeah.
002 basically.
How big are they, Henry? How big? How big are they?
Sorry, ma'am?
How big are they? What that number 2 is? That what, like 50 centimeters, 40?
I'm not getting.
What's the size of this one?
What's the size? Size is 40 by 40 by 35. Or the extra large size is 54 by 54 by 35.
Okay.
It comes into various sizes.
This is nice. You can have a set of 3 and they're nestable, right? So it's space saving, but and it's extra value. So for the same amount of space, you're actually giving the user 3 baskets instead of just 1.
Yeah.
I think this is a good concept. You can charge higher for this, but your shipping cost will be the same if you're shipping by sea.
Yeah. No, they're quite nice. So a lot of lovely ones there.
So which are the ones that you use for packaging? Himanshi was saying you use some for packaging?
For packaging, yeah. Please download. Oh, sorry, I missed that image to add.
Okay, no problem. Are they mostly jute?
No, they are the plain cotton fabric bag.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
What is the price range of the cushion covers?
It starts from 4 USD per piece to 8 and 10 USD per piece.
Okay. It's pretty good.
Beautiful product, great variety. So, hi, for the woven bag, is there any way to enforce the sturdiness? So,
For the
how do
woven
you
bag,
make sure that it's hard and sturdy and stays upright, I guess?
actually, I can just connect with him personally and will describe him over the video call. I don't have the sample with myself as I am at home right now. I will show
Mm-hmm.
him everything. Then it will resolve his issues.
Okay.
Yes. Same
So
as
Rami, I
I will.
guess you can get in touch with Himanshu, and yeah, reach out to him and get more information directly from him. So catalogs, yes, we are going to be sending all the catalogs to you by email, but you can also go to this URL right away and get these catalogs. They're already saved there. So bit.ly/vis all, and vis and all need to be in uppercase. Carol is saying, love the wall hangings. Yeah. Are these macrame wall hangings still popular, Himanshu? Are you still getting orders for these?
Yeah, these are very popular.
Still,
Material bowling.
okay.
We are still getting the orders of them.
Yeah, no,
And
yeah.
Himanshu, earlier you were saying that you have too many orders, right? You're not taking any new orders for the year?
Yeah, we are the production time is lead time has been increased by right now. We are not doing any placing any order before January.
Okay. Yeah, that's good because I mean, even though there's COVID and every a lot of lockdowns and all are happening, but you're still being able to produce on a regular basis, and your orders are higher. They are
Yeah,
more.
that's
So
great. Yeah. And I mean, look,
Yeah.
it's not far away. I mean, we talk about next year, but it's 7 weeks or something. And
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
very far to
Right.
January. So if anyone that's looking for stuff for next year, get in first and get on the wagon.
yeah, now's the time to place orders for Q1.
Yeah.
So in fact, yeah, some buyers are also thinking about winter autumn next year. This is when they
Yeah,
start
yeah,
developing
yeah.
winter autumn.
Absolutely.
Many
Yeah,
stores are starting the placing orders for the winters as well.
already
Yeah.
started, right? The bigger buyers.
Yeah.
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 Some of those are lovely.
McCream and the hand woven technique are used in this bowling.
Yeah.
So many lovely
That's
ones.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very nice stuff.
Okay,
hope
guys,
you
you
like
have
it.
any questions for Himanshu? If there are any questions for Himanshu, let us know.
You could set equality right throughout the products, can't you? In the pictures even. Yeah.
Yeah, and I really favour the PET products because I think then if you're selling those, you can make a great brand story once again to help you, sell something that's being, recycled and helping the environment. So I think
Yeah.
that, and they look really good. There's some really nice designs come out of the recycled material. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, cool. So this is Himanshu's email address, himanshu@jjoverseas.in, and of course he's also in the Facebook group. So in case anyone wants to reach out to him, just message him in the Facebook group. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Himanshu, for your time today. It was
Thank you
really
so much,
nice
and
catching
glad
up.
to be here.
Lovely seeing you again. Okay.
Thank you, Himanshu. Lovely to see you. Stay safe. See you next time.
Okay, that
Got
is
so
done. That
many great
was,
products.
yeah, good variety. I do think rugs might be a good product category to do because not many people are doing rugs. I mean, what do you think, Mark? It is a big
Yeah,
product, and
I think the only thing I mean to me, I try and say to people who are doing their first product to try it as a standard size to learn the ropes because it is a little bit harder with your shipping and you're moving around in Amazon and things. So, I mean, if you started it, maybe you could start with a smaller pattern of what you like, as like the doormat or just a small foot rug, and then move into the next one. Once you sort of learn how Amazon works, and I think that way then, to jump into something like a big rug might be a bit of a challenge for a lot of people who haven't done it before. But I mean, once you know the ropes, it's, and you know your costings, it's no different to doing, a small one. You've just got to make sure you've got enough money in there to cover the additional shipping costs and, all that. But, you've just got to work it out. Do your homework on it.
Yeah, absolutely. So Shana was asking, was the weight coded for the poofs inclusive of the fillings? Yes, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. But just to be safe, why don't you go ahead and ask Himanshu directly? I think that would be better. Do the jute baskets stay upright after shipping? Sneha, I think you should contact Himanshu and ask him, but I think they should.
Yeah, I think they'd all be, they'd be made fairly sturdy, so that they would stand up.
All the jute stuff we've seen is quite sort of like a heavy, sort of stiff material, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think at the fair last year we did see some of those, and they all seemed to be like, self-standing. They didn't need anything in them to just to stand the way you want them.
Right. Hello, Liaquat. How are you? He's joining us from LinkedIn. So Liaquat is going to be on our show next month in November. He's a supplier from Kashmir doing hand-painted items. Okay, so let's move on. Our next supplier is waiting backstage, Arshad from Nidran. Hello, Arshad. How are you?
Hello, Arshad.
You're muted. You're muted.
Arshad, can you unmute yourself?
Yes. Hello. Hi, hello. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yes.
Hi, good morning, all of you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So, Arshad, you are from Nidran, and your company, of course, does a lot of furniture items. So, do you want to go ahead and tell us about your company and maybe give us a bit of a background?
Yeah. Actually, Nidran Art Export is a 20-year back created, and we basically manufacture small manufacturing starting and supplying to major exporter in Jodhpur city.
Right.
In 2014, we built Nidran Art Export to supplying goods to other importers.
Mm-hmm.
We have a master in the industrial and the modern furniture.
Right. What kind of buyers do you mostly export your products to? Also, Arshad, do you want to just put your camera down a bit because we can't see your face? We just see the ceiling. Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We currently doing US and Europe main buyer in Netherlands, Holland, and Switzerland. They are the main countries of our market.
And do you cater to any e-commerce sellers yet?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Okay. So I'm just going to show some slides here of your factory. Yeah, go ahead.
This is our main factory. It's a headquarter. We have actually 3 factories operating in Jodhpur. One for dedicated for manufacturing for wood, one dedicated for second dedicated for iron, and third for we create and all. So this is for wood.
Okay, so this is the wood manufacturing.
And this is the inside. Yeah, this is the inside images for the production house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So where do you mostly procure your wood from? Is it mostly domestically, or is it also like imported?
Yeah, we importing goods. Oak we mainly imported.
Okay. Arshad, is there currently a shortage of wood raw material in India? Because I heard some people saying that because of COVID, there was some disruption in the supply chain and there is like a shortage. Is that correct? Are you seeing that as well?
Yeah, you are correct in this. Actually, during the COVID, all the logistics or breaks some point off, and that's why the supply is bit harder to source.
Okay. Is the price higher of the raw materials because of that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So
This is our policing department. One left side.
yeah. Oh, sorry.
The finishing department.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. This is the finishing goods area. We can procure after that.
Right. And packaging. Yeah, those are some really big items.
Yeah, they are, but they're all knockdownable too. A lot of them are knockdownable.
Yeah. So, that's your showroom.
Yeah,
are you in your
wow.
showroom today? Arshad, are you in your showroom?
No, not yet.
No?
Actually, I'm from this webinar actually from home.
Okay, yeah, it's quite early in the morning.
Yeah,
It's quite early in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah, in the center is our MD, Mr. Chand Gauri. In the left, in his left is Mr. Jelly. He's from Holland. And other side is Mr. Peter.
Okay. Which fair is this? Is this the Delhi? Is this Delhi fair or is it another fair?
Delhi Ice. Yeah. We are regular participated in this. We are regular participants.
You were at Delhi Fair last year, weren't you? You did Delhi?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So Arshad, I'm also going to open up your website over here and just show people, what kind of products you have, because I think you didn't include products in the PPT. So, Mark, what product categories should we look at? Bar stools, bookshelves, chairs, console tables, crank tables, coffee tables, drawer chests, stools. Should we look at stools? I think some people were looking for stools previously.
We're supplying mostly all the products according to buyer needs and requirement.
Okay. And mostly in wood and metal, right? You don't have any...
Yeah.
Right. Are these knocked down?
Yeah. Few products.
Okay. Why are they called industrial stools? Like, what is really the definition of an industrial stool?
The look, I think.
A look?
The industrial actually used for any kind of space, and mainly like we can use an outside and inside. That's why the people.
Okay. And I guess they're more, I don't know, sturdy or...
See, those tray tables and that are really nice. And see, I think they're quite good because you can make them different sizes.
Yeah, this one, right?
Yeah, that's really nice. Yeah, I mean, they'd be ideal in a small space, like in an apartment or something. Mm-hmm. So I think there's a lot of really nice and different products because I like the combination of the wood and the metal and all that together. It looks really nice.
Kevin, we can't
hear
you. No, he's not muted. But yeah, he's muted.
Sorry, guys. So Arsha, people can come to you with their own designs.
Oh wow!
And have you make from CAD drawings. You can make their designs from there.
Can we go back to that last one you were in, Megla? Were you in trolley table? No, what were you in?
Yeah.
You must be able to hear me.
Oh, that one there. I love that. Look at the base on that. See that?
This one?
220. No, keep going. Next one down. 220. Look how that. Look at the legs instead of being legs. Isn't that? I love that. So different.
See if I can zoom into it. This one, right?
Yeah, I think that's really, really snazzy.
Yeah.
Look at how the legs are sort of really different.
It's foldable, I guess, right?
Yeah, is that foldable, that one, Arshad, that stool? 220?
Is it
220, yeah.
Is it foldable?
Yes, it's getting, yeah.
Yeah, that's really different.
Yeah. What other products do you have, Arshad, that you think might be good for, e-commerce that's not too big and maybe can be sold knocked down?
What about nesting tables? Can we go into nesting tables?
Yeah. Yeah, these are so are these knocked down as well, Arshad? Or can they be made knocked down?
Not all. I guess no, not all. In this base, I don't see this not down product.
Okay.
But we can make.
Okay, those are really huge sofas.
Yeah, they're big. Oh, it's great furniture.
Nice and comfy. But somebody in our group the other day was actually asking for a furniture supplier because they have a brick and mortar store. So something like this would be really good for a brick and mortar store, right?
Yeah,
oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I can't remember who it was.
There.
Yeah.
I remember the post though.
Yeah, and actually I had tagged you in that post as well, Arshad. So you might want to just go into the group if, when you have time and just see who it was. They actually have a brick and mortar store in the US and they're looking for furniture.
And they're all metal lamps.
Yeah.
Too, I think if people are looking for something a bit different, just because it's not shown here, if you can see the skills that they've got in this factory and what they can produce, I'm sure anything you would, like done of your own design, it's just a matter of working out, specifications of what you want, because there's so many different designs here. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
And really different.
But like you say, Mark, the skills that they must have across the board in manufacturing those different types of products that we've seen. Yeah.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Yeah, this is really nice.
Yeah, that's
really
real industrial.
Yeah, real industrial.
But that looks quite in at the moment, so it's quite popular.
Yeah.
What about the bookshelves? Can we go into bookshelves?
Yeah, shelves are quite popular. I've seen a couple of people in the group looking for shelves.
And shelves are easily knocked down, aren't they, as well?
Yeah.
So these are mostly floor standing shelves, but I guess you could also do wall hanging shelves. Right?
Yeah, a lot of different wall type.
Yeah, we have.
Would they come in a flat pack, Arshad? Can you not hear me?
Yeah, Kevin.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Would they be in flat pack, Arshad? The
you
wall
could
shelves?
put them in a flat pack.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even that oval one, that's different.
Yeah, this looks
That's
nice.
really
actually.
different. Yeah. Very different.
Oh yeah, that's very vogue, isn't it?
Oops.
Yeah, no, I think that's really different.
See, once again, I mean, how many designs? It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you want to just go into console tables? Because there was some really nice. I remember
tables.
seeing some.
And the other one to go into is Elmira.
Yeah, we've seen some really nice different constructions. See, look at those. Oh, I love that coffee table there. See, yes, it's so different.
Yeah, has your name all over that, man.
So what you need to
Yeah.
do, Marg, is design one of your own, and then
They're really nice. Yeah, lots of. But I think if you've got, different, just smaller things that you want to have made out of wood and metal, that can be done, the world's your oyster here, because they obviously do really different, sort of than the norm. So you've got, something a little bit.
I'm sure you could find a point of differentiation in those, couldn't you?
What about Indian artistic? Let me have a look at Indian artistic. That'll be interesting. Oh, wow.
So what are they, just bowls, or you put something in?
what is the purpose of these, Arshad?
These are the fireplaces,
Fire,
actually.
yeah.
Oh, fire pits.
Ah,
Like, yeah.
Oh, right. Because they're really popular. But they'd be quite big. What sort of dimensions are they? Like, they'd be like 100 centimetres or something?
like what's the height of?
It's depend. Yeah. It's 30 inches, 25, 28. So it depends on customers.
All right. So they're not that. Yeah, they're not overly huge. No.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
very huge.
Yeah. No. That's really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So go back
See
up to
kitchen.
that kitchen. Yeah, I don't think we did we? No. Oh, yes, we did. I think we
Yeah.
did that one.
Do you want to go to Almira's? Do you want to go to Almira's?
Arshad looks like that's the vegetable seller or something.
Is that what it's
These are huge, right? These are really big sideboards.
Yeah,
and
they're quite
Yeah.
big. Yeah.
Yeah, but would they come in a flat pack though, like stuff like that? Was they knocked down?
Yeah, we do that.
Flat pack? Yeah,
Yeah, well, I mean, most days
Not
now.
all, but a few.
because I think we discussed this with Arshad before, that these are knockdown, Megla, and
okay.
you can make a flat pack.
Yeah, few hours.
Yeah,
Yeah, we do free flat packing. Not all the sideboards. Actually, this is a construction problem when we do. So we not applied all the.
Yeah, it'd be certain ones that.
yeah. No, I understand, but yeah, because I mean, to ship anything like that, obviously,
Yeah.
if you can't make it into a flat pack. But some great designs once again, isn't it? So I love that. It's in a vintage, the one on the end, the
vintage.
brand.
Yeah.
It's got a sort of
What exactly is reclaimed wood, Arshad? Can you tell us about that?
Actually, it's an old wood, basically sourced from the villagers' house doors. Sometimes sourced from the their furnitures, and they get it, and we remade all the products again. That's why they called reclaim.
And at Magla, there's no like railway sleepers when they used to be wood, and some of the old ports, they used to have a lot of wood in the old ports. There's pylons. A lot of that wood's now, because concrete has become more prevalent. So that a lot of that wood is reclaimable, and so a lot of manufacturers make use of that wood, even though it's been in the water or in that sort of area for nearly 100 years or more. So
Yeah.
because it's so big, the wood is so big and
Right.
huge.
So Lois has a question. If they are knocked down, do they have detailed instructions to put them together? Yeah, I was thinking more like IKEA products,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I was thinking. Yeah, it'd be just like going to IKEA.
We can.
Well, I guess if you were,
We can do that. We can do that if a customer required. We can do that.
Yeah, but the instructions need to come from the customer, right? Or you can help develop the instructions and everything to the customer.
That's what I was just going to say. If you would private label something like that, then part of your thing would be to get your detailed instruction sheet, so to make it easy for your customer. Then try and be better than IKEA, I suppose. I can't follow IKEA.
I know. Oh my gosh, IKEA is so challenging.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think now when you go to buy furniture, it doesn't matter what. We bought a bedroom suite, and they went, "Oh, that all comes as a flat pack," and we went, "Oh no!" So we had to put all the chest of drawers, the bedside, the whole thing was a flat pack. They just don't sell much nowadays.
Unless it's a flat pack,
ready-made. It's always a flat pack. So we spent several days doing that.
I did. Yeah. But no, that's the way it goes. Some beautiful items there, Asha.
Yeah.
Thanks for showing us those.
And I think it's up to your imagination with the metal and the wood. Other things that you could do out of that. There's lots and lots of products I can think of that you could use, some wood and some metal and make all sorts of, smaller products that are, for on your bench or, just around in the kitchen and things. I think gives you a lot of scope because they've got obviously the skilled designers there to. Do you sort of do a bit of, I'd sort of say, Scandinavian sort of theme in some of that? It look quite Scandinavian. Do you have designers that are from there, or are they all from India? Where are your designers from?
We have inside designer, and we create the sometimes the inspiring from the internet. Sometimes they do spying herself.
Yeah.
And are they all local designers in India, or do you also work with some foreign designers? Because I remember when we were at Delhi Fair last time. Okay, local, yeah. Because at Delhi Fair last time, there were a couple of furniture suppliers that actually had designers from overseas, from Europe, and they were employees or consultants with those suppliers. So.
Yeah.
Actually, we are in the mid-size company, so still now we do not hire for a designer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's plenty. If you've got a design team, there's plenty of inspiration, on Pinterest or on the net. So there's plenty of inspiration.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, great. So, guys, this is Arshad's email address, arshad@nidranindustrialhandicrafts.com. And, of course, the catalog is also already saved in the Google folder in case anyone wants to take a look at it. This is the URL. Go here. You can get the catalog and all of the contact information as well. Well, Arshad, thank you so much for your time today. And you have, I think, already joined the group as well, the Facebook group. So in case anyone has any requirements for the products that you make, we will definitely tag you in the group.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Arshad.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, that was interesting. Very different and,
although some of the stuff is bigger, Megla, at least it gives people another option. I mean, people might want another angle to sort of attack online. It doesn't all have to be, a giftable sort of item. If you're thinking outside the box, it's everyone's got their own, sort of what they want or a thing or a product they like to follow. But I mean, they had some of the really good designs that you could, that to inspire you to start with anyway. So. Whether it's big stuff, small stuff.
Yeah, and we actually did, when we were speaking to him, we were actually he was going around his showroom and they had quite a lot of designs. It's sort of a pity that he was at home today and not at his showroom because they had a lot of designs there that were really, well, I thought they were beautiful. I mean, my taste, but not everyone's taste, I suppose, but some of them were just fantastic. They were different. They weren't just what you see, in every sort of, store you go or something a little bit.
Yeah.
off the
Exactly.
normal
And I
range.
think nowadays people are buying all sorts of products online. I mean, it's not only, toys or gifts or games or
Mm.
things that people are buying online. I think because of COVID, of course, the whole online shopping trend has accelerated and people are buying all sorts of stuff online. Shoes. I mean, I would never buy shoes online, but I have been buying shoes as well. And yesterday we had this shoe supplier and yeah, and then furniture. People are definitely. I was looking at desks online the other day because I wanted to buy something for my son. So, yeah, I think online shopping is changing. People's behavior is changing, and they're more open to shopping things that they would not have shopped previously.
When it's a big item, if you sort of, you could drop ship those bigger items.
Yeah.
If you sort of went for those bigger items that people, or the bigger items of furniture, you could drop ship that sort of stuff.
Exactly. And when you have these kinds of items, of course, you have more room to play with in terms of the price and profit. I mean, if you're selling a $15 product, there's not much margin over there. But if it's a bigger item and especially something that has more perceived value or higher perceived value, then you can charge a premium for that.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's move on to the next segment. Now, this is really exciting and something that we haven't, this is the first time we're doing this. So we have two suppliers with us and they're going to be telling us what mistakes buyers make when talking to suppliers and sourcing. So let me welcome Gaurav Kapoor from Krishna Sales. Hi, Gaurav.
Hi, Gaurav.
And we also have Sanjay and Ayush from BKP Metal Concepts.
Hey.
How you going,
Gaurav, Sanjay, Ayush. Good to see you.
Good to see you both.
Exciting.
Awesome.
Yeah, excellent. You're looking
So-
well.
Yeah, Sanjay, hope you're feeling better now.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, basically what we want to do is just talk about the mistakes and from your perspective as a supplier when a buyer reaches out to you, what really goes through your mind. So maybe we can we can start with you can be honest, yeah. You can be brutally honest and tell us we don't know what we're talking about and you're like pulling your hair apart whenever you receive an email from an Amazon seller. So, but yeah, I mean, this is just an open-ended conversation and we're going to throw it out there and, let's see where the conversation goes. And guys watching, if you have any questions, type them in the comments as well. But yeah, let's just talk about what are the common mistakes that buyers make from your perspective. So Gaurav, why don't you go first?
Actually, it's a important thing also and a difficult one because what generally happens when most of the time, especially the new buyers who are approaching us, I feel whatever that, like we do home textiles, so sometimes they are not aware about what exact product they are looking for. I mean, if we say they need pillow, that's fine. But what composition, what variety, and there's a many things that you need to when you go to buy a product. So most of the time they are not very clear on that. Second thing that comes is the price point. What happens with the price point that if they had made some price point in their mind, they need it in $2. So when we are quoting something for $2, we try to justify the product with that value. But I guess they are not aware about that particular thing. Especially most of the time, the buyers, what we feel they are moving from one department to another. So sometimes we are having a garment buyer who has come into the home textile. So in that parameters, they are not aware about that. They don't have that in-depth knowledge about the product. So they just try to fix up, stick to the price point, irrespective of the like the product they want, because most of the time their like design department has made up a theme and they are just looking around. They need the product around that particular theme. So at that time, it becomes very difficult to explain them, especially when you are not having that technical knowledge about the product. So that is one very important part where we feel struggling to mature the business. We are getting queries, like we got the query, we had a conversation with the buyer, but we didn't end up anywhere just because they were not, they were having, you can say, an inadequate knowledge about the product. So that is one point we always feel is a, you can say, we find it difficult to cope.
Yeah. So,
When
Gaurav, how do you vet buyers? Like to sort of vet them, to sort of see if they're serious sort of buyers. All right, people are not always, professional, totally professional buyers, but they've come to you because they want to buy. Okay. Now,
I
instead of wasting your time, wasting their time, people see with their eyes a lot. I know that. But what are the qualities of an ideal buyer that you would be looking for?
That's very difficult to point out any quality. The only quality is that if they agree to our price point, that is the only quality we need. And actually, as such, there is no parameter, because if you are, say, going through an online channel, like you people are providing, or these people are visiting us on a fair and then later on approaching, or maybe during the fair. Um, you Because at the very initial stage, it is very difficult. Sometimes buyer are just making correspondence to find out what's the price that is going on in the market.
Yeah, yeah,
We going to a retail shop to check how much any particular item that we are willing to buy will cost. So sometimes they are already buying, but they are, at the same time, they are just roaming around, or they are approaching different vendors to find out the price of the product. So
yeah. Just
unless and
fishing, just
until,
fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
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 just
yeah,
fishing
Yeah.
around. So
yeah, yeah,
unless and
yeah.
until we had seen that even the things have moved to the sampling stage, we send the sample, uh, and then they just drop it for
Yeah.
whatsoever reason. So the thing is that if a buyer, firstly, if a buyer has started corresponding with you and they are responding you properly, obviously that creates your interest.
Yeah.
Because most of the time, what happens, you keep on approaching the buyer, and after one mail, they are not responding. And so, if buyer is responding, they are showing the interest, they are working on the prices, the color theme, and these things with you, then obviously you feel that they might be having interest. But it is very
Yeah.
difficult that after, sometimes it has happened after correspondence of 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, they back out for whatsoever the reason. One
Yeah.
of the
So
reason that we, yeah, yeah,
that's a long time to deal. And Sanjay and Ayush, if you want to, you jump in the conversation if you want to. Because you guys are from two different industries, and I mean, but people, customers are customers, whatever they're going to buy. But we see a lot of I don't know, a lot of sort of time wasted, and I sort of feel sorry in some ways, because you can waste a lot of time on a prospect and do a lot of things and spend a lot of effort for little reward sometimes, because you know, the big picture for you guys is, you know, you want to win the customer overall. You know, and that's why we're having this conversation today, I suppose. We have always sort of been of the opinion that once we do our homework first of all. So if I wanted to buy what you sell, Gaurav, then I would do my homework and I would know if I could sell that product, what I could sell that product for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
then I'll come to Gaurav. What can I get that manufactured for? How can you make it? How can you make it quickly for me? The same with Ayush Sanjay. You know, you find out that the pricing beforehand, if that particular item can sell, and then you do the next step. Otherwise, in this process, in the world of, you know, buying, it doesn't sort of happen. What do you think, Mike, on that one?
Yeah, no, well, I think particularly with e-commerce, because, I mean, you really need to go online and, number one, decide, does the particular product you have a chance of selling online, and is the price point $50? So then you can go to your supplier and say, well, look, this is really my, you know, work back to your margin and say, I can only, unless you can make this for $10 or $15, it's not going to be a viable product for me. So I think people need to be doing that, not going, oh, I want to make a fruit bowl. Can you give me a round fruit bowl about this big? And then they go and look on Amazon and it's selling for $15 and they've, you know, been quoted $10 to make it. And I think that happens a lot. And I mean, go for it, guys. Tell me. I reckon that happens to you all the time.
Well, yeah, it does. You know, so items like fruit bowl or not, if you don't get into that retail price point, it's no point selling.
Yeah,
that's one major reason for small products. You know, they're not going to sell no matter what you do on the product, what color, what finish you do. But that's a fruit ball eventually. So it has a top selling point. You cannot go beyond that.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and I think too. A lot of people, well, I find people say, oh, and I've got to get them supplier to drop his price by 50 cents, and I sit there going, 50 cents? Who cares? You're going to be spending, PPC could be $50 a day, and you're worried about 50 cents on an item that's going to be quality compared to rubbish. I sort of lose sometimes contact with people just trying to say 50 cents on an item. And what I'd like to say here is, and I don't know, a lot of people watching probably don't stop and think about this, your supplier not only makes the product, but if you think of what he has to do, he does your sample, he does a lot of design work for you, getting it right, he makes the product, then he works on packaging it for you, putting your barcodes on, making sure everything is right, they work out your packing cartons for you, they put all the labels on them, they pack everything, check it all, seal it all up, and they take it to the port. And you think you're worried about 50 cents. Think of the amount of work and labour that they have to do. They don't just make an item. They have to pack it in a box. And some of our stuff is packed so beautifully. I think they must take hours just packing our products. And, you know, you sort of I can justify the price we pay for our products. And, you know, I just don't sort of think, you know, to go back and say, oh, can you save me 50 cents or $1? I think people just don't think about all that. And I think if you haven't actually, the first time buying, you just think about, oh, I want this product, and you don't think of all the work and the responsibility. I mean, you know, they make sure it gets to the port. They do everything for you. I mean, we're over here. We communicate online and things, but for people, you know, they're really responsible, and you know, you're trusting them to do all that work for you, and you want them to, you know, save 50 cents.
Mark, before you ever buy anything, you do sort of a lot of research into that product and the viability, whether it can sell or not. Whether, you know, like, I mean, the guys we've got here now, I've got two different types of factories and they're in two different industries. So you have a lot of different people chasing different products. I mean, you know, we're sort of, you know, in the conversation, we're sort of looking, you know, like, you know, how you want your buyers to communicate with you. And what we're saying is a lot of buyers waste a lot of time not needlessly, but just because they just go about the research a little bit sort of wrong. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, and communicate not only just not the means of communication like WhatsApp or email, but for example, a lot of times buyers would give their product specifications in maybe in one email here and another, and then last minute maybe they change their mind and say, oh no, can you please do that, and don't do that. So can you give some advice on how you want people to communicate their requirements, their specifications to you? What would be a very efficient way to do that? And anyone can go. I mean, who wants to?
Well, I think here we were discussing the mistakes that usually the buyers make when they're ordering from Indian vendor. So I would say that all that is behind us once we come to the negotiating table and when the time comes to place the order. For me, the biggest mistake they make is the timeline. They think that Indian timelines are the same as the Chinese timelines.
Yeah.
If they expect any Indian vendor to turn around their product in 30 days or in 45 days, so that is the biggest mistake they have. So that affects their planning. Their planning must start, according to me, they must pack about 120 to 150 days for one business cycle. So roughly they can for all repeat orders for an Indian vendor, I think 75 days to 60 days is all right.
And this is just the manufacturing time, or
just the manufacturing time and delivery time.
And this is mostly for handmade products, right? So this would probably not be for other types of.
Across the board, if you look at the Indian industry, the handicraft sector, be it the wood or the textile or metal, I think these timelines are pretty standard because the way India functions, with the holidays built in, monsoons built in, festivals built in. Rotating your business, if you want to rotate your business 4 to 5 times in a year, it must come with new product for which you must pad about 120 to 140 days, and old products, your repeat orders, which you can take delivery between 60 to 75 days. That is the biggest mistake. People who try and buy out of India, they get very disappointed when they hear the timeline. So they must be prepared for it. I think that is the bottom line. They must be told. That is how you can function.
They don't understand handmade, I think.
And what about samples? What about samples?
About 2 to 3 weeks.
Kevin, that depends on how much tooling is required in the sample.
Yeah.
If it requires making a complete set of tools and dies and
of course, on your side. Yeah.
So that will depend on how complicated the tool is.
Yeah.
For example, we were doing this one product, and it took us about close to 2.5 months just to get the tools going for that.
Yeah.
And a huge investment on that, but we got it right. We sent the samples because without the tool, the sample could not have been made. So that's how.
That's right. Yeah.
It cannot be formed.
So that's a waste. So that's a waste of resource that you've got to. So that's
but then you must have the commitment from the buyer. He knows that we are working on their product. To make the product, tools have to be made. Without that, by hand, it cannot be made.
Yeah.
Some products which just cannot be made.
Yeah.
So
Gaurav, what about you?
All
Do
that
you
information
find
must be exchanged.
Yeah.
And secondly, they must be aware that shipping products like wood during monsoons is best avoidable, or they must pad in for that kind of time frame.
Yeah. But at the same token, though, Sanjay, I mean, we sort of we promote India, right? Sort of over. I mean, look, every country has difficulties with weather, labour, whatever the case may be. I mean, China has its difficulty, even though it's more, manufacturing, machine sort of manufactured. and then in India you've got sort of severe weather at times of the year.
Right.
So
We
everybody's
we have our own labor laws to contend with.
Yeah.
We cannot be working on the same labor model as the Chinese do.
yeah.
We have our own labor laws, we have our own administrative laws. We just absolutely cannot be identified with China. Yes, what has to be driven home is the point is that Chinese quality is definitely not the best quality.
Yes,
Indian
right.
quality is in no way second-rate quality. I think this is where the confidence between the buyer and the seller comes into play. If you identify the right vendor and, and that vendor is committed to produce the merchandise with proper tools, with a proper system, there is no way that the vendor will fail the buyer on the quality front ever.
Yeah.
So once that confidence is there, only then the buyer will proceed.
Yeah. And Gaurav, in your industry, Gaurav, in your industry, it's a bit different than Sanjay and Ayush. They're in sort of metal.
They are different. They are into metal. We are into textile. But again,
for samples
most of the parts in my industry is also hand driven. Like we do bath mats, we do pillows. So all of these product has got lot of handwork. So in case if some product is made by machine, you can make 20 pieces, 30 pieces.
Yeah.
But the same thing, obviously a different pattern when the technique is changed to hand, you might end up making 5 or 6 pieces.
Yeah. Yeah.
So one main thing what I feel is that whatever be the reason with the retailers or importers, what is happening is that these people are lacking a biased team. What is happening that in some companies there are 1 or 2 or 3 buyers and who are taking care of say 1,000 products, 1,000 SKUs. So what happens is that I guess they are not able to focus timely on the buying thing, and because especially in the retail, it is the cycle by like it's a Christmas, then you need the product by September in your warehouse or something. Same way harvest, you need it in July. So what happens that when they have to follow that particular chain, else their stores will be empty without the product. So they are not doing that particular planning beforehand, because one reason might be they are taking care of too many things at one time. Because I had seen the number of buyers are lowering down in different retailers.
Yeah.
Secondly, there is a lot of movement from one department to another. So by the time a new, let's say I am working with some product with one buyer, and what happens that after 1 month they switch. Now it becomes, what in this case what will happen, either the buyer will continue buying the same old product or something, and whatever the efforts that you are putting, that will go in vain. Or they will if they take they continue working on that, they will take their own time before they pitch in, and by the time you will lose the time that you require for the manufacturing. In that case, all the pressure is on the vendor. In any case, if you see the loss, buyer is very strict about their delivery dates, qualities, and their testing parameters, and all other things that they require. So in all these cases, vendors are working under very peer pressure to cope with the whole situation, which buyer, I believe they understand, but they don't accept. Because they don't want to, maybe they don't want to give any sort of leverage to the vendors. What happens is, whatever, like Sanjay ji said, that whatever the time you require, you will need that. In case we are reducing the time, our overheads, our other expenses goes way high, and in that case, either you are reducing your profit, or sometimes you end up losing money, because you have to meet that particular shipment dates. But and especially besides the development part, I feel that a lot of time we lose on the negotiation part also, because sometimes they are, if something is a $2, they have a price target of $1.5. Lots of back and forth is going on in terms of the correspondence, sometimes in terms of the development. Okay, you tell me what you can offer in $1.5 and all those stuff. So which way or the other, the time is going from the production period only, because they have their timelines to have the goods in the warehouse or stores, wherever. And
so in terms of negotiation, so Gaurav, in terms of negotiation, I think you brought a good point there. Do you expect buyers to negotiate with you on the price or certain other things? And
you'll
mostly
find you'll even if any buyer is buying 100 pieces, they will also negotiate you to the best possible way. No one will place your order without negotiation. So
Sanjay and Ayush, what do you think is the worst way to negotiate a lower price?
I think quantities are huge. I think it's very much between the buyer and the seller. For example, let's talk about ourselves. You're most compassionate, and you're most open, and we are always open to any, because we think that the product must sell, and we never overprice the product. But then when the buyer says, listen, for me, I need 25 cents off here or 50 cents off here on a product which is, let's say, $14.
Yeah.
So it becomes my duty to look at it, that can I squeeze those 50 cents out of that $14 product or not? So it's being honest with yourself, with your organization, as well as the buyer who's asking me for 50 cents on a $14 product. So it becomes my duty to see, can I squeeze that 50 cents or not? If I can, then I must go back to the buyer and say, okay, I will accommodate you there. 50 cents, because I can squeeze, because in my mind, I know I can squeeze those 50 cents out of the production line, or out of the finishing line, or out of the packaging which is involved somewhere. Because it's a two-way traffic, always. It's all the two-way traffic which will culminate in beneficial business for both the buyer and the seller. Ultimately, it's like a bicycle,
Yeah.
We both pedal and we keep riding. Otherwise, we both fall off the bicycle.
Yeah.
So
you look at a product though, and you can see, we look at a product and we say, right, if we can't sell that for a multiple of X, the multiple, then it's not worth even talking business with you guys or making you manufacture it. It's got to have that potential, and to be able to sell it. By the time you go through all the shipping, the export process, storage process, until it actually gets into the retail shelf, without that multiplier to begin with, you're wasting your time. And some of the products that I sort of see or I've heard people trying to sell, they don't even have that multiplier to begin with. And so I've heard people say, I got my Chinese supplier and I knocked him down 50 cents. But all they've done is he's changed his raw materials that he's going to put into that product because there's a way to save money,
Yes, absolutely. That's what I meant. We need to be honest with ourselves. We need to be honest with the buyer. Supposing we were changing the material content in the product, then we have to be very upfront. Listen, instead of 50 cents, I can take 75 cents off. But this is what I'm going to be doing to the product.
Yeah. So
that
makes sense.
Yeah, we contract to sell peas, and then we do by selling beans. It's not like that.
Yeah.
It is always a two-way traffic. Very honest.
Yeah.
And well, I'm lucky that I have you people as one set of buyers. So I can.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about it. That's the thing about a business relationship and building a business relationship. It's a trust, and it's also
everything. You can be very open with us. We can be very open with you. Kevin, let's say you cannot take 50 cents off. I can take 20 cents off there. So when you're open with it, I'm
Thank you.
That's the way to negotiate in a live webinar.
There you go.
But the thing is, usually there is just a minimum profit margin that the company needs to make to survive in any manufacturing facility. So that must be built into your costing when you're quoting to any buyer. So it should not come across as you're quoting for X buyer, you're quoting, let's say, 2 cents and $2, and to the other buyer you're quoting, let's say, $2.50. It should not be like that. Yeah. That's what I think.
Well, no, you're right. Unless, go on, Gaurav. Go on.
I believe the price can vary depending on the quantity for the same product. If someone is buying 200 pieces and other person is buying 2,000 pieces, then obviously in that case, they would assume you to give some, or we should give them a better price.
Absolutely. That's what I mean.
Yeah. I'm a bigger buyer.
See, that's what I mean. That is where your comfort level comes with the buyer.
Yeah.
That is where your comfort level comes in.
Anyone who is the buyer.
That is where your comfort level will come in with the buyer.
Yeah. Anyone who is
the
buyer.
You have quantities of, let's say, 200,000 pieces, but I would be quoting for 200,000 pieces, not for 200 pieces initially.
Yeah. Go ahead, Gaurav.
But if you're going from, let's say, 200 pieces to 200,000 pieces, then of course the buyer will say, can we do something? Because the quantity is now 100 times now, or 1,000 times. So that's obviously when my wisdom should kick in, and that is where I should come across. That's what I am actually very transparent.
Actually, negotiation part is.
But I don't think negotiation has anything to do with the mistakes that a buyer usually makes buying out of India.
Sorry?
Negotiation is it's a global phenomenon between the buyer and the seller.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, you were talking about.
You go street shopping in Delhi on Janpath, it's happening there. But I think the mistake that the buyer usually make is at the planning stage, always.
Yes.
When they do not add enough time and they let the season pass. So buying out of India, they must be told upfront, please keep 120 to 150 days for your program to float and land in your warehouse.
But let me just go ahead, Gaurav, and then I have a question.
There is one more thing. What I had, I have been attending the China fair and all those things. What I had felt that when they go to China, they know what they are selling, and most of the time they are just simply picking up their stuff, right? While in our case, most of the time what I had felt is that they are making lots of changing, lots of amendments. And because the Chinese companies, they are just selling the same product again and again and over the period ages. While especially when we do, my product is more of a fashion kind of a thing. So every time they need something new, right? So either they are picking up from my style, either they are asking me for those developments. So all those period needs some time. Sometimes our development takes 15 days to a month also, depending on the product. So this again is that when you're working with a Indian company, you have to consider all those things, because there is another thing that what we are making, the China people are not doing, especially in terms of our product, what I feel.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So so that consideration or benefit that should be transferred to the vendor, considering all those factors.
Yeah,
and I think
absolutely.
like in China, if you're making, say, I don't know, you're ordering spatulas and tongs, I mean, today they press a button and they probably do, 30,000 tongs, and then your name goes on some and they all throw the rest in the corner because there'll be another order next week. Nothing is specific, and they just do bulk, button pressing to, probably have a day of the week for every different sort of product they produce. Whereas your products, they spend a lot of time on each stage. It's not done in half a day and it's production and it's finished. I mean, I've been to our factory and seen the processes they go through, and it's not that simple. So you've got to appreciate time-wise and cost-wise. To me, you've got to expect to pay more to get something that's handmade than that's just merely done, on a button pressing on a production line.
So, Megla, we got time for one last question.
Yeah, let's do one last question. And also, I want to just encourage people watching, if you have any questions, type them in the comments for both suppliers.
I was just going to ask the guys, each on their own, what do they think is the hardest part of their job?
To satisfy buyers.
I could have wrote that down. I knew you was going to say that.
Actually, what is happening is that there are too many things on a vendor's shoulder. You need to offer them good designs as per their requirement, price as per their requirement, quality as per their requirement, shipment date as per their requirement, and even if something goes wrong with whether it happens at whosoever front, whether it's buyer or it's sometimes at the shipping part, or maybe something happens in our factory also. Everything has to be one stage or the other that comes on the vendor's shoulder. Your product is not selling for whatsoever be the reason, then we get chargebacks and all those stuff. Or, they'll find one way or the other to put the gun on your head.
Now, Ayush, you haven't spoken. Come on, you speak. It's your turn to speak. What's the hardest part of your job? Come on, I know.
He's probably going to say dealing with that.
It's the delivery time that you commit at the time of taking the order and the quality. To live up to that, exactly, it's difficult. I think that's the toughest part of our business. To deliver on time and quality.
Right. And why is that different? Because there's a lot of factors that are not in your control. Is that why
No.
delivery times are late, or why does it happen?
What happens is that let's say you are asking for 90 days for any production, and buyer has already lost some time. You end up at 75 days, right? You worked out something, because in that point, if you are instead of 90, you are working on 75 days. Practically, you have reduced all the buffers that you had kept at different stages in your hand for the production period. So that increases the pressure from everywhere, and that's the point where if any particular stage, because it's a production, anything can happen anytime. You are getting a raw material from a certain mill, and there is some mishap there. There's a mishap in the transport. Many a times it has happened that goods from my factory are going to Mumbai, and they had a mishap. The vehicle had a mishap. So there are lots of factors for which generally we keep a buffer in our hand, so
Yeah,
that
yeah,
to cope with them. But if something goes here and there, then it becomes really difficult, and more
yeah.
difficult to convince them. Even if
Well, I know
you
it's been
give them the
I know
clear
it's been a
picture.
difficult, yeah, I know it's been a difficult sort of year for you guys
Yeah.
overall so far with COVID, and I suppose I mean worldwide, but I
Now,
know in a
now,
country
now
like
because of
yours,
the now because of the COVID also,
yeah,
you are taking a number of precautions in the factory,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
And obviously that has reduced the workforce, or the process, slower down the process to
yeah,
an extent, though we are trying to cope up with everything. But
yeah,
all these factors, beside all these factors, still their timelines and all those things don't change.
yeah, of
And
course, yeah,
Yeah.
they'll just say, okay, we understand, but again, they had a pressure, their own pressures.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. I know,
So
Sanjay and Ayush, I know you've had a bit of a hard time with COVID and the
Yeah.
restrictions and sort of held you back for production in some ways, in a lot of ways. But you've still managed to try and keep on top of things, yeah.
Yeah, that was out of sheer, what should I say, persistence,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
just being at it from day one. The lockdown opened. We were one of the first factories to open. So
yeah,
we were just functioned with 11 people. That's what we were allowed initially.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
the word got around that well, lockdown is over now for Indians. In
yeah,
Moradabad, lockdown is over. Well, you ship us merchandise in time. So then that had to be explained that the lockdown is still there, but we have opened with special
yeah.
permission,
yeah.
and
No,
the
no,
salaries to be
Now,
paid. And
no,
80% of the city, 80% of the city was still under lockdown.
yeah,
So then it began opening up. Took a month, then another month. Then we had partial lockdowns. Places or colonies or areas which had COVID positive cases showing up, they were being placed under lockdown. So,
yeah,
you run out of like screws or nuts or bolts in the factory, and you find that the market where those things are, the supplies are available, that market is shut, for 15 days because
yeah,
they had a couple of cases of COVID. So we've been through that, and it is still happening. The production lines are still not very steady in India. They're still all disrupted. The artisans, they migrated back to their original homes. They are not yet back. They ate away all their reserves in the 3 months of lockdown. They have no money.
yeah,
So we are having to finance them right from the raw material stage to feeding, to bringing food to their homes to put food on the table. So it's a long journey, and we are still not even in the middle of it.
yeah.
It's going to take at least a couple of years for things to steady down.
Yeah, but the
But
thing
Wow.
is, you've got such a big population; it's sort of hard to hide from
yeah,
people or to not
absolutely.
mix. And
Yeah.
Gaurav is in Delhi, and I know you guys, you got a Delhi and sort of more of a dad to Delhi. Sort of like your business is between the two. And
Yes,
Gaurav,
absolutely.
yeah, Gaurav, you're in Delhi all the time, Gaurav, yeah,
no, my factory is in Hathras. It's close. It's a center point of Agra in Aligarh. So far, the good part for the bath mats we have is that most of our workforce is from within the city.
yeah,
So that one good part. But again, like Sanjay ji said, that any time because COVID numbers are increasing, one way or the
Yeah.
other. So one part or the other part gets closed, then you have those. So you can't presume that you are always working on your 100% strength. You have to consider that particular period also, that any day, because of the labor, you can't assume of other things, but at least the labor part on whom you are always dependent, that their numbers can increase and decrease any day
Right.
because
So
of the
let's start.
situation prevailing.
Yeah, let's start wrapping up now. Our next guest is also waiting. So I guess what I'm hearing from you guys, a couple of things that Amazon sellers, e-commerce sellers should be aware of. First of all, is that when you're sourcing from India, the timelines or the lead times are longer. So be prepared for that, especially for handmade products. And be patient. Secondly, know your product really well before you contact a manufacturer, and make sure that you do your research to ensure that the product is actually sellable on Amazon, and then understand the product and then come contact your manufacturer. And then I think most importantly is work with your supplier as a partner. I really like what you said, Sanjay, was like you're two wheels of a bicycle. So I think many times people don't think that, buyers, they think, oh, supplier is just, one more cog in the wheel, but no, they are actually the wheel of your business. So I think it's so important to build a good relationship, be transparent, and work with, suppliers as partners. Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I was reading somewhere.
Muted, Mark.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say this. I was reading somewhere of the top most stressful jobs in the world. So I think there was like army and firefighter, and then the third was event planner, which is me. And then I think number 4 should be factory. No, number 4 should be factory owner.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I'd just like to say, I think that, like Pep kind of said, I'm going to get 3 or 4 quotes. And I think, why waste your time? Like, pick a manufacturer and work with that manufacturer to get what you want. I mean, you're going to go and get 4 quotes. They're not all going to be exactly the same. Quality. I mean, and then you've got to sort of work out, is this one a bit better and is it 20 cents different? I mean, to me, you're just wasting everyone's time, including your own, and costing yourself money, because you really need to be paying for those 4 samples. That could be $400. I mean, what a waste of money. Why don't go to one manufacturer, work with him, and get exactly what you want? To me, the time factor, and you still need to work with someone to refine what you want anyway. I can't see the logic in it. It's not like you go walking around the shopping centre here and get the best price for your fridge. It's a bit different. They're making something for you specifically. They're not just, you're not competing for that same thing off the shelf. And I think a lot of people need to sort of maybe take that into consideration, because it's just a waste of everyone's time, including their own.
Right. So thank you so much, Ayush and Gaurav, for joining us today. So guys watching.
Guys, for your time,
yeah, Ayush, they're in Moradabad. They make metal and wooden products, hard goods. So this is their email address in case you want to reach out to them. And we've also featured them on the very first VIS. So you can, and a couple of times after that as well. And Gaurav is based in Noida. He does a lot of soft goods, so bath mats, cushion covers, very beautiful, huge variety. And this is his email address in case you want to reach out to him. Gaurav has also been featured in previous VIS shows a couple of times, so go watch those videos as well. Okay, thank you so much,
Thanks,
Sanjay, Ayush, Gaurav. Happy Diwali to all of you.
Yeah, happy Diwali. Stay safe, guys. We'll see you next time. Good
Bye.
to see you. Yeah.
Thanks.
Bye.
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 Okay, wow, that was awesome. That was a good conversation. Petty saying, I agree with Margaret. Yeah. Zara, hi Zara, how are you?
Zara Cruz.
Zara Cruz is back. Okay, so let's move on to the next segment, final segment. So we have Mr. Rajesh Rawat from EPCH, which is the organizer of Delhi Fair, joining us. Hello, Mr. Rajesh, how are you?
Hi, good afternoon.
Hello.
Yeah, hi, Margaret.
How are you?
Hello, Mr.
Nice to meet
Hello,
you
Mr.
again.
Rajesh. How are you? Good to see you again.
Fine, thank you. How are you all?
You're looking well. You're looking well.
Yeah, good.
Are you in the office or at home?
No, I have to leave for office. I thought probably I should finish it here at home and then probably I'll push.
Okay, great. Yeah, so we just wanted to catch up with you and find out what's happening with the Delhi Fair, and especially the virtual fair is going to start soon. So we had people in our group also ask about the virtual fair, and we wanted to bring you on and talk about what's new in the virtual fair and what was the experience with the old one. So do you want to maybe just start and tell us a little bit about the upcoming virtual fair first?
Okay. See, this is our 50th edition of IGF Delhi Fair, and we would have wanted this to be a grand fair had there been no COVID pandemic, because 50th is always something to look forward to, and we would have done this in a grand way. But unfortunately, we are doing it again on a virtual platform, and it is from 4th to 9th November. It's a 6-day affair. We'll have around 1,300 exhibitors will be participating there. And as far as handicrafts are concerned, you name it, all kinds of products will be there, right from home, lifestyle, fashion, furniture, and textiles. And also this time we'll be having around 100 artisans, the craft persons, who will be displaying their products. They'll be displaying the products, GI crafts. There are around 200 plus handicraft items which have got GI tags. So there'll also be a few of them from around the country will also be displaying their products in the show. We'll also be having artisans will be displaying. There are certain toys, Indian traditional toys, which are produced in the country, like Kondapalli toys or Chennapatna toys. So they will also be there in the show. The artisans will be there displaying their products. Then we'll have webinars on different topics, then craft demonstration, as I said, then the inauguration ceremony and some panel discussion. That is all what we are going to have. So this is it. This is the program, and we are expecting a good turnout of buyer once again in the show. Yeah.
Yes. Kevin, you're muted.
You're muted.
Yeah, Kevin.
Sorry, guys. So how was the buyer feedback from your previous virtual fair?
See, frankly speaking, I mean, it was a new thing for everyone, for the exhibitors and the buyer. Now, it was a kind of, one was orienting himself or herself to this new normal. And we got reasonable response from everyone, be it exhibitors and buyers. Because see, our industry is a creative industry, wherein touch and feel factor is the most important thing. When it comes to the handicrafts, gifts, decorative products, you need to touch and feel it before you place orders. But again, since we all know the challenges which we are facing because of the pandemic, we ventured into this virtual platform and we got good response. And once the fair was over, we got feedback from the exhibitors that as a new initiative, it has been commendable, and they've been able to get a good response from the buyers, and some orders were also generated. So
excellent.
At least in these times, they have something to look forward to. They have something to talk to. I mean, this virtual platform gave an opportunity to the exhibitors and buyers to at least interact. Since you cannot move physically from one place to another, at least you can interact, and that on a virtual platform. So that is how it panned out.
Yeah.
There's nothing like going to the fair and walking around in that atmosphere and touching and feeling. But I mean, if we can't do it, we've got to try the best to. And if we want to sell and do something, and if we've got a business, we've got to keep it flowing. So everyone hasn't had. You've just got to go for the virtual system and communicate that way, and hopefully we can get there really soon and touch and feel again.
We always have to look at the next best, and this is the next best that we
Yes,
how we do it.
So that's why we're here today, because we were blocked out because we couldn't do our trip. And we had people panicking. Yeah, well, not panicking, but panicking and asking us, "Oh, how can I source this year from India? I can't go to India." So that's how it was born. What we're doing now, and so now it's a virtual world. I mean, I think it's going to be a big part of our next world. Although we're still, going to love to come to India, still to come to the show. But at the same token, there'll be a lot more functions around the globe with virtual meetings and such. It's going to be the new norm.
Yeah. One best thing what has happened is, I mean, we have embraced the technology. I mean, we would have done this 5 or 10 years down the line, but this thing has hastened it, and we have embraced it. In the sense, since I'm talking to you, had there been no pandemic, we would have met in a fair, say for a minute, and then probably you have been on your way, and I've been doing my things. And Meghla is there; she's been to our show, but I think we have met only once, or even not once. I mean, physically, virtually we are meeting, and the second time we got to know each other. We are talking to each other. So this is the best. This is one thing. This is a positive thing that has come out of this.
Yeah,
so,
fantastic.
Still, the physical is always the best.
Yeah.
So do you see? Exactly. So do you see India's exports, like overall exports in the handicraft sector, being impacted by COVID?
See, what has happened is, I mean, first quarter of this current financial year, 2021, was almost washed out in the sense that we declined by around 60%. And when we see at the next quarter, we come from July to September, we managed to regain some growth. And we have the decline is still there. We have declined by around 40%. But if you see September figures only, we have growth. So this shows that the transactions, the orders have started to materialize, and there has been increase in exports. Now, one thing that worries us again is the second wave. So if God forbid, if we have the second wave and the cases increase, then probably we may be staring at a 50% loss by the year end. But if things go well, probably we'll be able to regain much of the lost ground and will come at par, not exactly at par, but around minus 10%. But we have to wait and watch. But September has been good for us so far.
Okay. And I see there's talk about a physical fair to be held in March.
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah, it is I mean, we are hoping that we go ahead with that. And as the news, I mean, I've been hearing, probably you may be hearing this as well, that we may be having a vaccine by the end of this year or probably early next year. So let's hope if that's there and we are able to control this menace, I'll call it, probably we'll have a physical fair. And because we have to make a beginning somewhere. See, we can't wait for eternity. We have to make a beginning somewhere. Probably when we open up, we may not be having that many buyers and we may not be having that many exhibitors as well. But we have to make a start. So we have our fingers crossed and we are going for March. And then let's see, if things goes well, we'll have a March fair, and then probably by October next year, we'll have everything under control and we'll be back to our normal ways. So that is how.
Because when we see that of March in our country, Australia, we're not sure whether we are going to be allowed out or allowed back in. There was talk, I see yesterday, there was talk that we might be able to travel to Singapore, but we can travel to Singapore, but we have to go into sort of isolation on both sides of the so it's going to be hard, isn't it, Mark, to travel either way.
Well, unless the vaccine is in, I think for us in Australia in particular, because our government, I mean, we can't even go from one state to the other. I mean, we're virtually landlocked in our little own state here until the new year. We're not even allowed to go to Queensland or New South Wales, which is just over a roadway, really, crazily enough, until next year. So, for us in particular, I mean, maybe America might be a lot more freer, I suppose, at letting people come and go because they don't seem to be as strict in control. But our government here is very, very strict on us. And I think Singapore is very much the same, Meghla. you've got a lot more stricter control, haven't you? I think with what you do.
Yes, definitely. And I mean, in Singapore itself, they've been able to control the spread. So, schools have been open since July, but yeah, the borders are pretty tightly controlled. But yeah, there is talk of maybe a bubble between Australia and Singapore. So let's see how that goes.
Well, let's hope so, because we certainly want to get back to India, and we want to get back to normality, and we want to get back to touching, feeling, and going to a physical fair and doing all the things that we used to be able to do. But in the meantime, we just have to carry on with a virtual way of life, I suppose.
Yeah. And so, Mr. Rajesh, are you also seeing an increase in, maybe e-commerce sellers or Amazon sellers kind of coming to India to source products? Because, of course, e-commerce is booming, and it's probably one of the few industries that's really growing amid this pandemic. So what sort of changes are you seeing in terms of the e-commerce buyers coming to India?
No, see, this is, as I told you earlier as well, that we acknowledge the fact that e-commerce or the organized retail sector in India has a huge potential, and that's why 5 or 6 years back, what we've done is we have opened our gates of the fair to all these buyers, so that they can come to the fair and do their sourcing, and our exporters have taken it very well. So this is the trade between the online suppliers, online buyers, and the suppliers is increasing, and this is the future. This is one more option we have. As we are talking, you don't have a substitute for a physical. Probably it is in our human nature that we need to meet with each other. We need to interact physically, and then probably we have to, in our sector particularly, we have to touch and feel the product. Then we place orders. But again, there is this online huge segment which is being embraced by one and all, and it gives an additional opportunity to all the exporters and exhibitors to tap these markets, and they are very happily doing it. So this is there, and this is growing.
Right. Another thing that we're noticing, I mean, we've been doing this virtual show for 6 months now, and we've been seeing that there's an increase in new categories that are being manufactured in India. So, for example, we're seeing more electronic suppliers, coming up. And we also interviewed this really good sports shoe manufacturer just yesterday, and they are now exporting these sports shoes that are competitively priced, really high quality. So are you seeing these kind of changes in India, where there are newer categories that are traditionally not associated with India or not manufactured in India? Are you seeing more of these new categories, like emerging categories nowadays?
Yes, surely do, because see, our Honorable Prime Minister has also given this clarion call of Atmanirbhar Bharat, wherein Kevin, it translates to self-reliant. So because of this pandemic, there have been cases wherein we have to depend on our imports or certain products on different countries, or for final products from XYZ countries. So it has been decided, and that why not? I mean, since India is a huge country, and we do not have dearth of raw material or the finances, then probably why not we manufacture these products on our own in the country? We have a huge young population. We have a huge young skilled population rather. So this is the endeavor of the government, that they are pushing make in India products, and that is what we are doing. I know it's easier said than done. It will take some time, but the challenge in front of us is that we have a demographic dividend. We have a huge young population, and the most difficult thing that any government faces is providing employment to the youth. So what better way to do it is encourage entrepreneurship, and government of India is doing everything to encourage that. And this Atmanirbhar campaign or the self-reliance is in that same league.
Right. Yeah. Cool. So I think that sounds very exciting, and we're looking forward to hopefully being able to come to the fair next year soon.
We want to be there. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
If we
if not March, then October.
October is definitely. Can't
Exactly.
stay away any longer.
I'm sure we'll be bringing a big group with us because there's so many people who are just wanting to come there. Yeah. But in the meantime, guys, yeah. In the meantime, guys, you should register for the virtual fair that starts next week, November 4th to 9th.
Yeah.
This is the URL ihgfdelhifair.in. Go ahead, register, visit the fair. And Mark, Kevin, what was your experience at the fair, at the previous virtual fair? I think, Kevin, you spent a lot of time at the fair, right? You did. What did you think?
I went and sort of visited lots and lots of stores, and just to sort of see generally what the difference in the products were. And I spent sort of quite a few hours, but you go from booth to booth, and even when you go booth to booth, it doesn't seem that they're all they're not copycats. No, all the booths are different, even though it's similar products. But no one's a sort of copycat. They have their own designs. That's what really impresses me about shopping. At the Delhi Fair. You sort of go to other trade fairs around the world, and there might be. And then you walk through the fair, and you've been to fairs with me, Mark, where at the end of the day, we go
same. It's boring.
Same. Everywhere, and you sort of end up getting confused. But all right, it's the same material, but there's a lot of designs, and we've seen how month on month. I mean, even today with the Manchu, how many different designs that company had, but how many people have we had on the show that sell the same sort of products? But his designs are different, to other ones that we've sort of shown. And it's the same for me when I sort of went through the fair. I looked at all the metal sort of products, and there was so many different ones. If we had an endless amount of cash flow, he would just keep buying different products. That's for sure.
Yeah, there's so many beautiful things. I think it's wonderful. No, but I think look, the fair is well worth hopping online because you can actually interact. It's not like you just sit there and look at something. You can actually interact with the actual manufacturers, and they'll come online and talk with you and things. So it is quite an interactive sort of site.
Experience,
it's not just sitting there flicking through a catalogue. I mean, it's actually sort of live interaction. So you can actually make quite some headway just by logging on if you're looking for something in particular, because there is a lot. We've bought, I suppose, a small sphere of the goods from India to you, but there's so much more available if you log on to the fair as well.
It's a great way of doing research for your products too, because you can just wander in and out, sort of like surfing the web of old. You just sort of surf in and out of one shop to another. If you sort of like that particular product, and you can get some prices and do your homework. And like we said before, if you do your homework and then go to see, pick your supplier, get your homework, away you go, off you go.
Yeah. Loved watching the artisan stories last time. I thought that was interesting too. Especially there was this one story about a woman, I can't remember her name, and that was like so powerful. And or maybe there was this cluster of women in Rajasthan somewhere, and they were I think they were doing embroidery work and
hand embroidery.
There's so many. Once you start looking in India in different regions, and Mr. Rajesh, firsthand, but there's so many wonderful backstories to the communities, different communities that are sort of out there in the backwoods, so to speak.
See, I'll share a bit of information regarding those ladies. Now they are from Barmer, the Thar region of the country, the desert part of our country, northern region, and they are into this applique work. Wherein they do embroidery and they produce products like cushion covers, throws, bedspreads, and so on and so forth. And what we've done is there's a place called Kevadia in India. The Statue of Unity is there. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Meghna probably knowing it. So our Prime Minister today is there in that place, Kevadia, and he's inaugurating the boat ride at that place. So what we have done is there's a museum, there's a mall as well, which is called Ekta Mall. So what we have done is we have showcased the products of these Barmer artisans, Barmer ladies at that mall, and they're selling their products. So as we speak, our Honorable Prime Minister is going around that place. and seeing the products of those ladies who have produced those beautiful applique artwork. So that is it.
Lovely.
And one more thing I would like to share more is what we've done is we've added one more feature to our virtual platform this time. And we have offered our exhibitors to offer the buyers the live chat option, wherein we have given a live link to the exhibitors so that a buyer, when comes to the booth, if he clicks on the live link, he can probably directly interact with the exhibitor. And if an exhibitor is sitting in a showroom, probably he'll take him around his showroom and show his product. So some of our exhibitors have opted for that feature as well. So quite a few new
I'll look out for that.
Jim's going to have a busy time.
Let's see how it pans out. So we are trying to do something different. That's it. Yeah.
So is there any other improvements this year to the that's been made? Any special highlights that are going to sort of happen?
No, see, what I said earlier, that the key highlight would be the exhibitors.
Okay.
Photos are always the highlight. Then apart from that, the artisans of India, there's a whole new pavilion of the artisans of India, wherein I told earlier, they'll be showing their crafts from all across the country. Now, as far as feature is concerned, Live Link is one important feature that we've introduced. We need to help the buyer and the exhibitors interact to give you a real physical feel. I mean, we can't replace it, but still we are trying to do something out of it. So that is there. And some smaller changes that we have done to make it more user-friendly. So we'll come to know on the 4th, because since we are organizers, we know, since we are seeing it day in and day out, so we can't comment how it pans out. It will be on the 4th itself, when you'll have buyers and exhibitors, then only we'll get the feedback whether we have succeeded or not in all the new features that we've introduced. So it's a work in progress, actually, because it's a new thing.
I mean, it's only a couple of days away, really. It's this week.
Keep happening. So we'll keep improving as we go along. Yeah, that's how it is.
Yeah, I think for the last one, there were some technical issues in the beginning, like buyers were trying to register, but they were not able to register and all. But yeah, I mean, that's understandable. It was the first time that you guys were doing this, and you put it together really quickly. I thought that was very impressive. You know, to put together something like this, like from scratch in just a few months, it was quite an impressive feat.
It's a mammoth thing to put together.
See, you may have seen the virtual fairs by now. Many virtual fairs you may have seen. You may not have seen these many exhibitors. See, to hold around 1,300 to 1,500 exhibitors on a virtual platform, and that kind of a traffic which is coming to the platform. It's a challenge for us. It was a challenge. It still is. I mean, we'll come to know on the 4th how the platform is going to react. But we have our fingers crossed, and let's hope everything goes well this time.
Right.
I think that's the biggest fear, that the traffic comes to the platform. The biggest fear or the nightmare of the IT guys is that can the platform handle if it's going to handle the traffic.
Before the show, if you talk to the IT guys, I mean, it's like everything is hunky dory, everything is fine, perfectly fine. But it boils down to the practical thing. How's going to react when the people start coming in, when the people start logging in. So then the challenge begins. Then we got to know the quantum of challenge that we are facing in front of us.
But you have some challenges before you can fix the problem, I guess.
I think one of the things that you could consider is doing live streams from suppliers' showrooms. I think that would be very popular. Like, we sometimes interview suppliers here, and they are in their showrooms, and they walk around their showrooms and show their products, and it's just so easy to get carried away and oh, can you show that one as well, and how about that one? That is absolutely
that's a bit of fun sometimes doing that one, isn't
it? Very engaging.
You're very engaging.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. Rajesh, for coming on the show today. And guys watching, definitely register for the fair. It starts November 4 to 9, ihgfdelhifair.in. That's the URL. Lots of cool suppliers.
And lovely to see you again. And it's good to see you keeping well and COVID-free and safe and all those things. And we can't wait to get back to the fair again. To get back to a physical fair. That's Megla's main business was the Indian sourcing trip. And so to get back to reality, because Megla's an event, she's the event queen of organising events.
I'll tell you what. I mean, we have been traveling all across the globe. See, when you travel to a different place out of your country, see, business is one part. There are n number of things associated with it. You meet a lot of new people. You get to know about the country. You get to know about the people. You get to know about the culture. You get to know about the food and cuisine. So that is additions that come with that physical thing. So that we all are missing. So probably let's hope we get physical back soon. So because virtually, see what will happen. See, we will talk, we'll interact, and we'll log off, and then go our separate ways.
That's right.
So this is what my experience of the virtual thing for last 6 months is. I mean, after this meeting, I have a meeting with our exhibitors on our platform in next 15 minutes time. And then there's another webinar with our exhibitors. So
busy man.
See, what I found is you are more tired than the physical thing. At the end of the day, you're and the output is, I don't know what. And you're more tired. You're tired like anything.
Well, now that we didn't do the physical fair in April and October, and we've met that many people or been introduced to that many people now, that we have so many places and so many factories to visit when we go to India, that we're going to need an extra month of travel, and then we're going to see other cuisines, other people in different other parts of India. So maybe this has happened for a reason, you know.
Because Carol is on our list. Megla, we're doing that boat.
Yes, the boat.
The boat.
We don't call India as a subcontinent just for nothing. I mean, India is a subcontinent, and you go from north to south, east to west, and you will have different cultures, different type of people, different cuisine also. So there's a lot to explore, just the fair.
Well, that's what we're looking forward to experience more. And because we've been talking to people that have come from that subcontinent in different regions that we've been speaking to interview them to do the show with us. You know, it's going to be an honour to sort of go to those places and actually meet them people in person and go to their factory instead of us doing a virtual show with them. It'd be a pleasure to, we can do a live show from their showroom.
Mr. Rajesh, you missed a really good show yesterday. Yesterday Margaret wore a sari. Can you believe that? She actually draped a sari herself and bindi and everything. And Kevin was wearing Indian attire as well. So we were celebrating Diwali yesterday.
What's the fun in seeing them in a sari or an Indian attire virtually? They'll be coming to India, we'll meet them, and we'll see them in that attire physically in front of us.
Definitely.
At
our Bollywood night.
For sure.
Okay.
Well, all right. Hopefully we can catch up in person soon.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Have a good day. Have fun at your meetings.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Awesome. Wow. That was good. Yeah.
Well, he's our friend now.
Yeah.
He's a really nice man though. I remember I sat next to him when we did the original thing.
Yeah.
When we were in the room, and I didn't know who he was or whatever that sort of day, but when we met them for the first time. But it's just me and Margaret just so blown away, Megla, by the people. We haven't met any bad people yet.
No, everyone's always so nice. It doesn't matter where we speak to people. Yeah.
And all the people that we speak to through the connections, to interview for the Viz show. I mean, we have everyone's just so polite, so honourable, so obliging, and we've done cold calls too, and I mean, some people must go.
There's stupid Australians ringing us up. What's the biz they're talking about?
Yeah, and you know, they don't say, "What do you want?" And you know, it was a man's shoot today. I mean, it was a pleasure seeing him again because he was one of the first that we contacted.
Yeah.
And I do recall sort of, you know, because it was right in the really early days, and so you know, we had to explain the concept to him, and it was very early days of COVID lockdown as well.
Yeah.
You know, and so everyone was unsure about how, you know, how the world was going to, you know, happen next week, no, let alone the next day. But it was a pleasure to see him again and see that he's actually been thriving. So it's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. But our audience has been very quiet today. We haven't been getting too many questions. There are almost 30 people watching.
Well,
but
I think it's Halloween today, though.
They're all out. Yeah, we've got Halloween.
Oh, yes.
Trick or treating tonight here. Do you?
Yes. Not really. Not really. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they do here.
Yeah.
And our American audience, they'd be sleeping.
They'll be getting ready. They'll be sleeping for ready tomorrow. But
Maybe,
I went out this morning, and we've got houses everywhere, all decorated with spider webs and cobwebs, and like all down around our streets. So so I imagine that it's very busy here with trick or treating today. And if you've got kids, I think
Megla, maybe we brought too many factories to these people, and they bought everything they're going to buy, and they don't want to buy any more.
Yeah, probably. Also because maybe people are not really thinking about sourcing that much right now because it's Q4 and they're, you know, just whatever they wanted to sell in Q4.
They should be, because people need to now, if they want to be on summer for US next year, which is, you know, 1st of May or something, they need to be sourcing. They need to be working on those samples right now because they're not going to make it otherwise. So,
well, you heard Sanjay and, you know, and Ayush and Gura. You know, I mean, if you don't have that planning, you know, you're just not going to, you know.
You just don't make it.
All right, you know, people have sort of knocked India because it's not China the way that sort of stuff is sort of made, or the supply chain. But it works fine if you know how to plan.
Yeah.
You know, any you know, I mean, it doesn't matter where you build a car, as long as like those cars are ready to import at the said time, and there's so many that are going to end up in the ports at a said time. It's just that the world, as we know it, is in a lot of trouble at the moment because the airports are clogged up, even though the planes aren't flying as much, but the ships are all jammed in. You know. Well, on Wednesday, I mean, everything's just so much in the air at the moment. You know, it's the world is not functioning as we know it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
So I also want to,
go on, Meg. Go on.
No, I was just telling people that there's this other online exhibition that's happening in case anyone's interested, and the organizer was on a previous VIS show, I think last month. So this is basically an online exhibition of Indian artisan products, other products, and you can buy individual items as well. So it's not only B2B, it's also B2C. So you can check this out, namastebharat.world. And I haven't looked at the website yet, but I think it should be live. It started on 29th October. So yeah, it's you know, worth checking out. There are a few hundred suppliers over here or sellers. They're not necessarily manufacturers that do B2B, but they're also the third party sellers.
And that's in Singapore. That's in Singapore, Megla.
No, the organizer is based in Singapore. Yeah. So they used to organize a physical exhibition here every year, right before Diwali, with Indian products, because they are. There's a lot of Indian population over here, so so now they're doing the fair virtually. Yeah. So Carol is saying, finally a comment. I'm definitely thinking about sourcing. I've missed Q4, but I want to be ready for the new year. So yeah, Carol, this is the time to be placing orders. In fact, the bigger buyers are placing orders for autumn winter next year. So but for us, because we have smaller quantities, we should definitely be thinking about Q1.
The bigger buyers never stop buying. They never stop sourcing.
Yeah.
It's a continual wheel. You never stop looking for new products. So
I found it hard to understand the supplier speaking today, and Megla, your pick isn't clear. Oh, really? Maybe because I'm in a different room.
Sometimes when you do move, actually, it is a bit fuzzy. A little.
Oh.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, you're not quite as clear.
Oh, I think it's because I'm in a different room and the router, the Wi-Fi router, is further away. So I should have probably used my extender. But okay.
And understanding suppliers, I think we get used to them because we speak to them more.
Yes,
yeah. You sort of you got to sort of sometimes put your ear to the ground with some more than others. You got to listen a bit. Sort of, I put it to sort of like you sort of tune your ear in. When me and Mark, we go through weeks of interviewing, people that we do bring on the show, and you sort of different regions, people speak with a different sort of accents. Once and there's a little accent sort of thing as well. And
if they have trouble understanding you, it's okay.
Well,
yeah.
That's right. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's understandable. But I think there were some audio quality, audio issues as well. So, for example, Ayush and Sanjay, they were not very clear. They were very echoey today.
Yeah.
So we probably, we did remind everybody to make sure that their audio works and they have headphones and all. But I think they were in a different room today. So it was a bit echoey.
Yeah. Sometimes it's perfect, and sometimes it's just a little bit. That's the thing about doing live stuff, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, there are pros and cons. Yeah.
Pros and cons. Yeah.
So we also want to remind everyone that you should download the ebook that AVASK is giving out on Brexit and the upcoming VAT regulations. So definitely download that ebook. Yeah. Very useful. You should be able to find the link either in the post description or in the comments wherever you're watching on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube.
They also do trademark stuff too, don't they?
Yeah.
So there's I know a lot of people are sort of looking for trademark advice for in Europe, or sort of how it sort of might work or differ from from Australia or US or Canada or wherever. I believe this week didn't Amazon Sweden enter the game?
Yes. Amazon Sweden has launched.
Opened
this
up
week.
its first fulfillment center.
Yeah.
So
Lois is saying, I'm trying. Feedback on Sanjay and Ayush call. Yes, Lois, you're right. They were very echoey today and not clear.
Yeah. It might have been the room. It might have been the room that they were sitting in. Sorry about that, Lois, or guys and girls in today's show, but
we'll remind suppliers again to be.
We do. We sort of tell them, but on the day sometimes.
Yeah, we do a test call with suppliers, especially new suppliers as well, to make sure that they're familiar with the platform and there are no audio issues. But these things happen sometimes. Cool. Also, just lastly, I am also organizing a conference for Global Sources. So in case anyone's interested, you can check out the website at globalsources.com/summit. So this is the physical Global Sources Summit that I used to organize previously in Hong Kong, and that is being done virtually. So in case you want to check it out, it's going to be a live 3-day event, and there's also a China sourcing workshop that is being done by Steven Salikoff. So this is the URL, globalsource.com/summit. There's a ticket. It's not a free conference, but it's a very low cost ticket. So check this out. We're also going to be talking about diversifying beyond Amazon. So not Walmart, Shopify, all of these other channels, and also selling globally on Amazon. So Amazon Japan, India, Sweden. We've got somebody covering Sweden as well. So
Good.
Okay. And anything else, Mark, Kevin, before we sign off?
I don't think so. Just watch out for our whatever we end up throwing up this week. We'll be doing something different, I'm sure.
We got a good Wednesday webinar, haven't we?
So we'll wait for the
Which is-
surprise.
Well, it's quite topical, isn't it?
Let them wait.
Definitely. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's very topical. And then I think, Mark, your Monday musings are really good. Yeah, I really enjoy reading those. And I think there's such a lot of important, relevant information that you're giving in those posts that, people really find it very, very useful.
Yeah, well, I try and sort of, I base it on things that people come to me about who are having an issue or somebody who's done something that didn't work. So I've got a notebook of, I must tell everyone that hint. So it's just very ad hoc, whatever somebody comes to me who's had an issue with or, hasn't got it right. I just try and, give you a bit brief overview because some of this stuff isn't in the courses. They're just the odd things that, they don't cover. So just hopefully people, get a few hints and don't make that mistake or, learn something from it.
Yeah, fantastic.
But
And,
if anyone,
yeah.
it's sorry, Meg. Like, if anyone, anything in particular for a Monday musing that they want to sort of, I don't know, we can sort of put a little bit of detailed information there. I think,
ping me a message and I'll put it on my list.
If we don't know, we research, we find out whatever people want to know. So
Exactly. Yeah. If you have any topic or if you're stuck somewhere, if you have any questions, reach out to Mark, Kevin, or, just post it here in the comments or in the group and we'll figure it out. Also, we've been doing Showcase Saturday for a couple of months now, but it's, we do get suppliers posting products and some suppliers have gotten inquiries. I think last week, not a lot of suppliers were very active for that. So we'll have to figure out a better way of, either encouraging suppliers to post products or maybe posting products ourselves, selecting products from suppliers and then doing a bit of...
because I think they're probably really busy, frantic, trying to get the last of the orders out.
They are.
Everyone's busy because it's like, the last couple of weeks really to get stuff out the door. So I'd say a lot of them are probably working so hard just trying to meet all the deadlines that they've got in line. So I'd say they're probably... once that's over, I think it'll be, and it's not that they've got nothing to do, but they'll be starting to move on to next year's orders and moving forward a bit, whereas that's, it's a bit like getting yourself ready for Christmas Eve and, you're running around the last minute doing everything and then you can breathe and start again sort of afterwards.
Well, like we was discussed before with the guys that, they've had interruption after interruption because of the COVID situation and it's a lockdown. As sort of certain lockdowns have occurred and, they've been sort of open at one stage and then closed in another. And so, this sort of, we know from people we deal with who said, hey, we're flat out open. And then all of a sudden they say, oh, hang on, we're stuck at home again because, something out of the box sort of happened. So, yeah.
That's Trishy.
Exactly.
Thanks, Trish.
Yeah, Trish. Mark's Monday musings are fantastic. Lots of awesome hacks. Yeah, totally agree.
Well, let's keep working on the hacks, Mark.
Oh yeah, I've done I've done that. I'm organised this week. I've done next week. So we're done.
There you go.
Yeah, so we've got Monday musings, then we've got Wednesday webinar, and we've got Showcase Saturday. So 3 weeks, 3 days in the week, And I think it's important to do this because sometimes it gets very difficult to produce content on a regular basis. As group admins, group organizers, or content producers. So I think if we have these specific days, then there's consistency, and then people also expect to see those those pieces of content or webinars during those days. So I think it's a good experience for people in the group as well.
Yeah, but I've got golf on Thursday and I've got golf on Friday.
So we can't do anything on Thursday and Friday. So golf Thursday, golf Friday.
Saturday, normally, hang on a minute. How many days?
Okay. All right. So let's sign off now. And
thanks everyone for watching. And
thanks for watching. We'll see you next.
And thank you everyone for taking part. I mean, we had some awesome guests today who sort of, thanks for their time. Wonderful to see a lot of you guys again. Stay safe and we'll see you soon.
See you in a month.
We'll see you next month. Bye-bye.
Bye.